If gravity suddenly turned off for just 5 seconds, the world wouldn't just float away, it would explode. In the time it takes you to read this sentence, the ground beneath your feet would become a high-velocity shrapnel field, and the very air in your lungs would begin to expand with the force of 1,000 vacuum pumps.
By the time gravity flicked back on, the Earth you know wouldn't exist anymore, and neither would you. Welcome to Deep Science Explained. We treat gravity like a permanent law, a polite agreement that keeps us pinned to the soil.
But in reality, gravity is the only thing holding the physical world in a state of uneasy peace. It is the cosmic glue fighting against the immense internal pressures of our planet and our atmosphere.
By the end of this video, you will understand the terrifying math of the centrifugal snap, the sudden boiling of the oceans, and why a 5-second pause in gravity is actually a reset button for the entire planet.
We are going to look at the deep science of orbital mechanics and the physics explained behind why your house, your city, and even the stars themselves are actually ticking pressure cookers. This isn't just a what if, it's a diagnostic of the invisible force that makes existence possible. By the end, you'll never look at the floor the same way again.
Here's where it gets even stranger. Right now, you feel like you're sitting still, but you're actually standing on a carousel spinning at 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. The only reason you aren't flung into space like a raindrop off a spinning tire is gravity. The moment gravity vanishes, that tether snaps.
You, your car, and every unanchored object wouldn't float up. You would be launched tangentially to the Earth's curve at supersonic speeds. It's called the centrifugal snap. But this is the part nobody tells you. It's not just you. The Earth's crust is under immense tension.
Without gravity to hold the tectonic plates down, the internal pressure of the mantle would cause the ground to literally heave and shatter. Imagine the entire surface of the Earth becoming a giant, upward-moving earthquake. Every building doesn't just lift off, it is torn from its foundation by its own momentum.
Did you know that in those 5 seconds, you would cover nearly a mile of distance? But you wouldn't be enjoying the view. You'd be surrounded by a chaotic cloud of topsoil, shattered glass, and oceans that are no longer interested in staying in their basins.
But here's where it gets crazy. While you're flying upward, the very air around you is having a panic attack. Our atmosphere is only here because gravity is squashing it against the planet. Without gravity, there is nothing to stop the high-pressure air at the surface from rushing into the low-pressure void of space.
This is the science explained as a global decompression event. The air wouldn't just drift away, it would explode outward. For you, this means the air in your lungs and the nitrogen dissolved in your blood would expand instantly. It's like the world's worst case of the bends. Your eardrums would pop, and the oxygen would be sucked out of your bloodstream.
But the ocean is even more dramatic. Without the weight of the atmosphere pressing down, the boiling point of water drops instantly. The surface of the sea would begin to flash boil into a thick, choking fog. In 5 seconds, the Earth's blue marble becomes a fuzzy white ball of chaos.
But why stop at Earth? Gravity is the leash that keeps the planets in their yard. The sun is a massive nuclear explosion that is only kept from blowing apart by its own crushing gravity.
If gravity turns off, even for 5 seconds, the sun begins to expand at a significant fraction of the speed of light. It would swell like a bruised fruit, releasing a burst of energy that would eventually bake the inner planets. Meanwhile, the Earth is no longer orbiting. We are traveling at 67,000 miles per hour.
Without the sun's pull, we fly off in a straight line into the dark. In 5 seconds, we've moved nearly 100 miles away from our correct orbital path.
This is the part of mind-bending science that nobody tells you. When gravity turns back on, the sun has to collapse back into itself, and the Earth finds itself in a completely different orbital vector.
We might be too far away to stay warm.
or our new path might send us spiraling into the sun over the next few centuries. We aren't just pausing the world, we're breaking the cosmic clock.
But let's look at the awe moment that happens at the 5-second mark. Gravity returns. Everything that was launched into the sky, the cars, the skyscrapers, the trillions of tons of ocean water, is suddenly grabbed by a 1G force and slammed back down. This is the re-entry hammer.
You aren't falling a few feet. You are falling from a mile up, surrounded by the debris of your city. The kinetic energy released as the atmosphere and the oceans slam back onto the crust would be equivalent to thousands of nuclear warheads. The fog of the flash-boiled ocean would collapse into a global tsunami that covers the continents.
This is the physics explained that reveals gravity isn't just our friend, it's our cage. Returning to the cage after 5 seconds of freedom is a death sentence. The planet would be resurfaced, a total biological reset.
But here is where everything gets even stranger. What is gravity, actually? In deep science, we're still not 100% sure. Is it a particle? Is it a curve in spacetime? If gravity turned off, it implies the fabric of spacetime itself flattened out. This is a cosmic mystery.
If spacetime can flatten for 5 seconds, it means our universe is tunable. What would it mean if our reality is just a software setting? If gravity is a variable that can be toggled, then solid matter is an illusion. We are only solid because the tension of the universe holds us together.
If that tension slips, we realize we are just ripples in a pond that briefly forgot how to ripple. So here is the reveal. The mystery of the 5-second pause shows us that gravity is the creator of time. Without gravity, there are no orbits. Without orbits, there are no days, no years, no rhythm to existence.
If gravity stopped, the story of the universe would simply stop making sense. We think of gravity as a burden, the thing that makes our backs ache and our glasses break. But gravity is actually the gift of the now. It is the force that keeps the atmosphere in your lungs, the water in your glass, and the sun in the sky. This gives us a goosebumps moment of cosmic perspective. We feel so independent, so in control of our lives. But we are actually passengers on a high-speed rock, held in place by an invisible hand that refuses to let go. You aren't small because the universe is big. You are amazing because you are a part of a balanced equation that has remained on for 13.8 billion years. Every step you take, every time you drop a pen and it hits the floor, that is the universe saying, I'm still here. I'm still holding you. A world without gravity for 5 seconds is a world that ceases to be. It reminds us that our normal is actually a high-stakes balancing act at the edge of a vacuum. And if you think 5 seconds without gravity is bad, wait until you see what happens when the strong nuclear force flickers for just a millisecond. Tell me in the comments, which part of this video broke your brain the most? I read every comment.
Make sure to subscribe to Deep Science Explained to keep exploring the invisible forces that build your world. The floor is still there. Let's be grateful for that.